Yo, what is up guys? If you're struggling to fight like a pro in Fortnite, then this is the video for you, as with the release of Chapter 6 Season 4, I'm dropping an updated guide on how to actually become a better fighter. I'm going to be sharing with you guys multiple tips I've seen pros use to level up their fighting, as being a good fighter is one of the hardest parts of the game, but is especially crucial this season due to the release of the new Solo Series Cup in the next few weeks. If you do find this video helpful, please do make sure to drop a like and subscribe, as I have much more tips and tournament content for this season coming very soon. So before we jump straight into fighting techniques, I want to start off the video by talking over part 1, which is going to be about warming up. Now, warming up before you fight is very important, because when warming up there are two key areas that you need to cover. These areas being your aim and your mechanics. Now, as I'm sure many of you know, your aim can be practiced both inside and outside of Fortnite by using either softwares outside like Kovacs or Aim Labs, or by using aim training maps within Fortnite such as the aim edit piece control maps or headshot only box fights that practice your reticle aim. Now, your aim is crucial, as you can't really win a fight or be truly good at fighting without genuinely hitting the shots or having good aim, so make sure to dedicate a relevant amount of time to this per day if you're dedicated to the grind and depending on how good you feel your aim is at the moment. As for your mechanics, honestly, I find just free building whilst trying to learn new moves and improve your speed is crucial to improvement. But with mechanics, it is important to remember that consistency is the most important. The speed of your edits matters way less if you mess them up, so make sure to practice specific edit moves or piece control moves, such as the ones I will show you later in this video, on a regular basis to make sure your edits and mechanics are consistent. Moving on to part 2 of today's video, I want to cover the factor of experience. Now, it is important for me to make it clear that you won't just finish this video and turn into Zen or Peterbot, because that's quite frankly not how it works. What I'm doing with this video is that I'm giving you the blueprint in order to turn into a top level fighter, and it's up to you whether you can use that blueprint correctly to really up your game. Your favourite top pros that are insane fighters, they are this way because they have had years of experience practicing fighting against other top level players, further causing their skill ceiling to improve. Again, whether this has been in FNCS or Solo Cash Cup finals, they're fighting other cracked players and it's causing them to improve as well. If you are trying to improve your fighting, just simply take more fights, as it allows you to gain more experience. If there is a fight that you lose that you feel you really should have won, jump into replay mode and identify the mistakes that cost you the fight, whether this just be double pickaxing or a poor peek that you use, for example. I would recommend W keying in rank for the next few weeks while you try and climb the ranks in the new season, as this will allow you to get more experience in this new and fast-paced meta, so you're confident in fights when it comes to playing the upcoming Solo Series Cups. Now, if you are looking to play the Solo Series Cups, make sure to subscribe, as I have many videos coming out on this very topic. I also have a Discord link in description down below where you can find other cracked players to 1v1, 2v2, 3v3 or grind with, so make sure you head down there and join up the Discord to become a part of the community. Part 3 of today's video is all going to be focused around aggressive fighting strategies. In this part, I'm going to share with you some aggressive fighting strategies to help you improve your fighting. Aggressive fighting is crucial, especially in solos, so you can prioritize finishing a fight fast, and this can be done through keeping constant pressure onto your opponent before a third party arrives. The main key to staying the aggressor within the fight is ensuring that you are the first player to deal damage, as this allows you to have both the physical and psychological advantage over your opponent, as they are 1, weaker than you, and 2, may play very scared because they think that you're a better player than them. This allows you to pressure your opponent, meaning they are unable to get any time to heal themselves, eventually leading to a successful kill. Now, let me show you some of the best ways to set up and pressure an opponent when they are playing defensive. One of the first and most simple way, if your opponent is playing in a box, is simply to, instead of just attacking from a straight front on position, if you attack from a diagonal standpoint, it allows you to attack both this wall and this wall, both from behind right hand peaks. As you guys can see, if I drop this and do a cone here, if your opponent makes an open edit, for example, like that, you can still shoot through the wall and get damage onto him just by playing the peak like so. Or if you attack from this side and you want to make another diagonal angle like this, again, if your opponent opens up, you can use the right hand peak right here and get some nice jump shots on him, and your opponent will barely able to see your head, so you can time your shot perfectly, just like so, to get damage onto your opponent. Now, for the second offensive strategy, we know that trying to keep pressure on your opponent when they're in the box is crucial, so all you can try and do is you can just pre-box the opponent. So say, for example, you're pressuring him from a cone like this, and what happens inside, he edits his 2 front tiles up like that, either indicating he's going to leave above. You can place a wall, drop a cone in there and get a pre-box up here, or for example, he edits his cone up and you're thinking, right, the majority of players, by the way, go out to their left hand side. Over 90% of people that leave their box go out to their left, so you always want to pre-box to your right hand side, just like so, and then you can get ready to get P piece him up just like that. And what that does is just it blocks off his exit route, so if he does leave the box, he's going to walk straight into one of your pre-boxed places. The third offensive strategy focuses on when you're above your opponent and they're in a box down below. Now, when you're on above your opponent, most of the time you're going to edit open a wall or place a wall like so, and try and double pickaxe and claim these things for yourself. So say you've claimed one, most of the time what the player inside the box will do is they'll either make a double edit with the cone and the floor, or just single edit, jump up and try and get a big hit onto you like so, because that allows them to turn the fight. But what you can actually do to counter this is say you take the cone and you edit it up, and then it looks like this player is going to edit through their floor right here. So say they go like that, you immediately reset their wall and they end up pumping your own wall. So just to explain, when you reset the wall, they jump up and pump the wall like so, and that breaks the wall. From there, they've still got their tile open, so what you can do is then immediately get a shot back onto them because there's no wall. Place a ramp in the box, for example, if there's no one there. Make a nice little edit like that, or you could edit them so they're in that corner like so. And again, you just get free piece control of the fight. So it's just, when they look like they're going to edit up, reset the wall very quick, they pump out the wall, you're left with a free shot onto them down below. So moving on now to part 4 of today's video, I next up need to cover some defensive fighting strategies. However, playing defensively in a fight is often the harder role, as you're often on lower HP than your opponent, or under the belief that your opponent is a better player than you. I'm going to show you some defensive strategies that you can use to either turn the fight in your favor or slow the fight down in order to potentially attract a third party, successfully allowing you to disengage. Now, the first defensive strategy is what's known as a snail technique, and it's just aimed at slowing the fight down. To do this, if you stand in the back right corner of a tile and hold out your wood build, and then spin 360 degrees, you will get 4 boxes worth of wood walls around you. Then if you hold out your cones, and again do the same thing, you will now see that you have 4 boxes to play from. Obviously, if you want to be pedantic, you can put the walls in like this. But then what this means is if your opponent's pressuring you on this wall right here, and he gets a shot on you, for example, you can just edit your cone and move into the next box, and you just have a lot more space to play from. As well, there's no limit on how far the snail can go. Remember, yes, you don't have unlimited mats in game, but what you do have is that you've got nothing to go when you get back to the lobby, so you might as well use all your mats to try and stay alive instead of saving them. So effectively, just keep expanding, keep building more spaces, and you can play out these boxes, for example, and look to get tags on your opponent just through doing stuff like that. Now, a second defensive fighting strategy is Prefires, and I'm going to show some Martyrs clips in the background because I believe Martyrs is one of the best Prefires in the game. What it is effectively just timing your shot as an opponent breaks a build, and it allows you to get a heavy tag on them, allowing you to relieve constant pressure or even eliminate your opponent. Definitely a really OP way of changing a fight round. Part 5 of today's video is going to be about learning from pros. Now, the best way to learn how to be a better fighter is by watching those who are insane fighters, such as Peterbot, Zen, and others. This entire video has used pro level background footage, so just by paying attention to the footage you can see shows how the pros use certain fighting strategies, for example like pre-piece or constant pressure, in order to be super aggressive and finish fights fast. Or for example, it shows you how when pros are playing on a defensive, they might create space in order to slow down the fight, or look to use pre-fires in order to get damage back onto their opponent. But overall, one thing you can take away from the pros is that the high levels of confidence they have during their fights is crucial, and there's nothing more true that I've learned than the phrase fake it until you make it. Because even if you fake confidence within a fight, your opponent may be tricked into believing they are actually playing a confident W keyer instead of a 0 PR drone, allowing you to get the psychological edge within the fight. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and click this video on screen to learn the new best drop spots in the new season. Peace out from me.